everyone, Mary here. So it's been a while since I last posted on social media for a blog post, and hopefully you caught my post from earlier this week about what I've been up to. And I've been really focused on getting back on track from a health perspective, plus a lot of other personal things going on. If you're wondering what all this stuff is, I'm actually in the process of a move, so we're moving things around. These are surfboards. These are my golf clubs that I adore, but I haven't used in quite some time because I've been injured. I figured, since I'm getting back on track with stuff, it'd be a perfect time to actually update and complete that list of the 5 things that job seekers are doing in their job search that they might not realize is actually impacting their chances with a future employer in a negative way. So, to recap this list, let's go over what we've covered so far. Number 1, they are underestimating the danger of dated experience on the resume. Number 2, job seekers are also downplaying the importance of having a salesmanship ability for any role in the interview process. Number 3, candidates take the liberty of being extremely informal in their interactions with a future employer. This could be, via email, over the phone, even face-to-face interview. Okay, so that takes us to number 4. People are way too passive about their job search. They think all you need to do is apply online and then someone will call you and therefore you'll get a job. While this could be possibly true for some of us, in the majority of cases for job seekers, this is not the only way, and certainly it's not the best way to think that you're going to get a job. Not only are we needing to apply, we actually have to take action. You really should be actively gathering information, trying to meet more people at a prospective place that you want to work. And the reason is, the expression out of sight, out of mind, that kind of happens when you do the old school route of just applying to a job. You're applying online, you shoot off your resume, and then what? You hope someone contacts you? Well, nowadays, you really need to be more active in the ownership of what happens to your application. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but a lot of job seekers succeed because not only are they applying, but they've also gone the extra mile to reach out to people at a certain company that might be in a role or the department that they'd like to work in, to set up an informational interview to learn more about the company, as well as more about that particular career trajectory. The more people that you can meet to discuss these plans and really understand how they did it, and also share the fact that you want to do it, and any tips that they could share with you, actually helps in the process of your candidacy. And it certainly helps, with your own professional development. So these kind of activities of follow-up and active engagement with employers is necessary. It's a necessary piece to augment what you're already doing in your job search. So maybe you're not really keen on LinkedIn and doing online networking. Maybe you're better face-to-face. You can go to a job fair if you know that particular company is going to be there. Walk up to the table, talk to a particular representative, mention a specific role to get more details, grab their card, introduce yourself, tell them your elevator pitch, if you will, what you'd like to do. And effectively doing is putting yourself on their radar, but in a very personal way. So you should try to seek out these opportunities, not just online, but also in person. I personally hate job fairs. I always did when I was a candidate, because I just don't like walking around and, going up to tables. It just wasn't me. But, many of these companies have other kinds of events where they're engaging with the community. They do service events, they do, lunch and learns, they do all sorts of things where they're in the community interacting with those who want to learn more about the organization, and that's a perfect opportunity to get involved and introduce yourself. It may seem a little weird because it's not restricted specifically to like the job application. What's the status of that? You know, this is a more subtle and laid back approach to it to show that you're interested in the company and that you can make a really nice, warm, face-to-face impression. A lot of job seekers don't do that. You know, they just apply online and think that that's enough, but it's not. There will always be an example or two of people who find jobs without doing anything beyond hitting the submit button after they upload their resume, and that's it. But I would say that the majority of job seekers out there need to do a little bit more to show an active interest and to promote themselves. Last thing on this list of the top 5 things that job seekers are doing that's actually hurting their chances with the future employer, but they might not realize they're doing it, is a pretty predictable one. I mean, it's something that they teach you in school when you're interviewing for jobs, you know, that lots of us don't do this enough, and we need to make sure that we're incorporating it into our practice. We don't ask for the job. You know, we don't indicate that we want it at the end. It's not our closing word. And it really needs to be. We need to leave that final impression that is clear with a future employer that we want this position. Excited about it, and please consider me. I'm a great candidate for it, and this is why. You know, you told me a lot of great things that I believe that I can contribute here. We don't do enough of that in closing. Usually people get right to the interview's end and you're asked, well, what questions do you have for me, or do you have anything else? You know, we're like, no, I'm good. You know, maybe you asked your prerequisite questions about benefits or what have you, but really this is the closing opportunity. Again, going back to the whole sales mentality of how you can be of assistance, and more importantly, how you're excited and you want to be there. People are left, you know, with the impression like, okay, the interview's done. I want to make sure that your impression on a future employer is that it's positive and that you're hungry and eager to be there. What better way than to say it as a final sentence in closing? Okay, so that's your top 5 list. So if you have any questions or disagree or agree with me, feel free to comment below. And in the meantime, would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you'll get regular updates on all things career related, including special offers that we have and job opportunities that we're recruiting on. But also it's just to, you know, stay in the know of how you can improve your career development as well as job search process. Thanks so much for your time, guys. Glad to be back. I will talk and see you guys later. Thanks.